Then came ninth grade, the start of high school. We had to take some scary sounding courses such as earth science and math day. Also that year, we were introduced to Regents. These tests were even more exciting than the finals because they could take up to 3 hours. Now, if you're unaware, that is 1 more hour of fun than a normal final. 10th grade arrived, and we were not the lowest in high school anymore. By now, most of us were playing varsity sports. We could actually choose some electives in our schedule, and Kyle Stwitzky and I got a taste of college by being the first 2 to take advanced biology and a lab at JCC. Our sophomore year, I remember writing my weekly current events for Mrs. Burnett's class, panicking in every advanced biology class because I may not have written down every note Mr. Sidlow had said, and asking Mrs. Howard if I should wash my hands after spilling a solution of NaCl on them. If you are not a chemist, then I should tell you, NaCl is pretty dangerous stuff, so be aware of it. In our junior year, we began to slowly drift away as the reality of college started to settle in. Now you could go an entire day without seeing a classmate due to your schedules being entirely different. Some students began to start at BOCES to prepare for their future careers. Some of us decided to challenge ourselves, while others filled their schedules with study halls. In the fall of that year, most of us took the PSAT, so we were introduced to the SAT. I took the SAT in May of that year with many of my classmates, and I think we all agree that that test was easily one of the most fun experiences each one of us has had. Let's face it. We all had to start making some decisions about college or our future plans that year, and we had to begin to think of what we would like to do for the rest of our lives. I had to accept the reality that a space cowboy was not a smart career decision. By the end of that year, there was a feeling of excitement mixed with fear growing in myself because I would only be in high school for 1 more year. The reality of my senior year starting came as soon as I had my first varsity soccer practice. That is when every middle or high school year seemed to begin for me. This year was different though. I only had 1 more year with my team that I had basically played in my entire life, and that feeling translated over to my class when I started that school year. This is it. So this year, I had to do everything with the mentality that this is it. I gave it all in soccer this year, and I know that my team did also, and I'm very proud of what we accomplished, falling just short in the Far West Regional Finals. For my courses, I had to push myself to maintain excellence, even though the very real senioritis was developing in some of us. And I had to, like many of my classmates, concentrate on the future, which is now here. I could not have gotten here by myself, though. Thank you, Mom, for always having the answers to the questions I could not answer by myself, and for being my coach not in soccer, but basically in everything I do. Thank you, Dad, for making me strive to push myself in everything I do, and I know I would not be valedictorian if it were not for you. Thank you, Grandma and Grandpa, for always supporting me throughout my life, for providing me with love from next door, and being my #1 fans in everything I do. Thank you, Chris and Sierra, for showing me the way in life, and for being 2 great role models. Thank you, Grandma Anna, for being great support all the way, even though you are so far away. Thank you, Aunt Nancy and Lisa, for making the trip all the way from New Jersey to see me tonight. Thank you, Sam, for always being someone I can turn to, for helping me get through my senior year, and for always knowing the right words to say. Thank you to all my friends, you know who you are, for bringing entertainment to my life, inside and outside of school. And I'm sorry, Brent, for not going ahead with my original speech. Thank you to my tennis team, Coach Began and Coach Benhallow, for providing me with the most fun I could possibly have with any support. Thank you to my soccer team for giving me so much dedication for so many years. And thank you to my lunch table for always giving me something to look for every school day. If you feel worthy of a thank you and I did not include you, I'm truly sorry, but audiences can only take so many thank yous before they want to throw something at the speaker. And I do not want to get hit by any flying objects tonight. Wherever we may go in life, whatever we decide to do, we will always be a part of the Maple Grove class of 2011, and that will never change. I'm sure that there will be students who develop into great successes from this class. As a parent, we should all be proud of your son and daughter who is here tonight, because we all gave 13 years of dedication through kindergarten to our senior year, and it's all led up to this, our graduation. Congratulations to my class. Thank you all for coming. For all of you expecting a 45-minute long speech, I'm sorry for letting you down. And I hope everyone here has a great night. I'm sure I will. Thank you.
35 years of teaching in the classroom in 2010. He graduated from Naperville in 1970 and continued his education at Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire, where he designed a special major called Environmental Education, a curriculum he formulated from courses offered by the Departments of Education, Earth Sciences, and Environmental Studies. He began his teaching career at Randolph Central Schools from 1974 to 1979. Then, after a brief venture into the business world, he realized that teaching was what he enjoyed doing. He came back to teaching here at his alma mater in 1981. In his first years, he taught general sciences, but soon moved to teaching Regents Earth Science and the Environmental Science elective. At both schools, he coached over 40 sports seasons in football, girls and boys basketball, boys volleyball, and one of his personal favorites, baseball. He also advised student classes and clubs and participated on and led numerous faculty committees, projects, and events. He married his Maple Grove High School sweetheart, Brenda, and together they will celebrate 38 years of marriage this summer. His 3 children, Carrie, Beck, and Todd, are all doing well and are pursuing each of their own life's goals. Retirement finds him pursuing more time with his interests in traveling, sailing, reading, and volunteering, but also with new interests in playing pickleball and exploring his family genealogies and histories. Through him, his sister Wendy, his father Melvin, and his mother Winifred, the Llewellyn family represents 60 continuous years in the Bemis Point Central School District and well over 100 years in Western New York area classrooms. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Mr. Scott Llewellyn.
Tell me I'm over or done or what here. Okay, thanks, Sean. I got to tell you something before I start. This happened just about 2 hours ago. We were sitting having dinner, and I asked my son to say grace. And he asked for 3 things. He asked for good food. He asked that the dad would have something worthwhile to say, and third thing was that I not get gas while I was up here. Congratulations, Aaron and Ashley, Ashlyn, and the entire class of 2011. Good evening, proud families, my former colleagues on the fine faculty, looking very nice tonight, by the way. Administration, community, and friends, thank you for this invitation to speak. This is certainly a pleasure and a privilege. I've been on this stage countless times for a variety of events, sometimes not dressed exactly like this. But this is undoubtedly the topper for me. I watch my own children speak here, perform here, be honored here. This hall, this school is a special place with great memories. I don't have the wow factor bio that in the program tonight that some of our recent speakers have had. I'm not Tara Vanderveer, Olympic gold champion, women's basketball coach. I'm not Roger Goodell, NFL commissioner. Or as last year, our own Steve Emke, who was a country music award winner. He had Taylor Swift sitting next to him. I don't have any of that. I was going to call my good friend, heralded actress Meryl Streep, some of you know. Well, not really a close friend. We were on the same college campus together for about 10 weeks, and I'm sure our eyes met at some point. But I do know a lot of important people, and here's some of them. I count that as valuable. Something those other folks didn't have. I know you. We spent much time together in room 115. And to get to this stage tonight, you had to come through me. One of those little stamps of approval on your head is mine. I truly was excited to be a teacher and to associate and be energized by you vibrant kids every day. Best of all, I was in this school district, Bemis Point Central School District, a community that values its children and the education that they receive. My friend and retiring colleague Tom Sidlow and I stood in the science hall a gazillion times and said these words, "Boy, we have great kids here." What do you mean that? Immediately after college, I started teaching. One of my college roommates went right on to get his master's in business administration, and then went to work in Manhattan. A year or so later, he called me to say that he was now in the oil business. And I was impressed by that. So when I pressed him about the type of oil business, he laughed. He was writing and producing advertising for Crisco shortening. I celebrated his financial successes, but I never envied those. I knew that my opportunities and responsibilities being around these kids would leave longer and deeper and wider and more lasting benefits to the community and society as a whole. I was fortunate to do this for 35 years. Whatever happens to you after tonight, my prayer for you will not be for big money. It will be for big excitement, big fulfillment about your venture and in a place that you want to be. I always loved the first day of school. Standing before eager 9th graders and some bug-eyed 8th graders, I tried to impress upon them the significance of the day. Maybe some of you remember, I compared that day to a toy called the Etch-a-Sketch. Maybe some of you remember. You turn the 2 dials, you remember, to draw a picture, and if you mess up or you're just finished, all you have to do is what? Simply turn it upside down and shake. And it was gone. Then you can start again. I told you that in your previous years of schooling, you had created an academic picture on your imaginary Etch-a-Sketch. Some of those pictures were great. Maybe some of them could have been better. But the news on that day was that everybody was required to do this. Turn it upside down and shake, because high school was starting today. Your previous years of schooling had been very important, skill developing time. But in less than 4 years from that September day, I had said no college admissions officer, no military recruiter, no potential employer was going to ask to see that first drawing. But starting that first day of high school, every class effort, or lack thereof, would be evaluated, and this time would accumulate to be part of a new Etch-a-Sketch called the secondary school record. And that would be something these folks would ask to see. Was your earlier education important? Undoubtedly. Unquestionably. Those years were vital. I just had the opportunity to do a little lesson on volcanoes in my niece's 3rd grade classroom at Chautauqua Lake. I've periodically visited my sister's pre-K classroom. God bless elementary school teachers. They were the wonder years of learning how to read, write, interact, adjust, and 1,000 other things that they were asked to do. Well, some of you kids sitting in front of me that day were somewhat deflated by that news. All those years of good schoolwork gone? Not really, because you had been honing those important academic and physical and social skills. Others of you were relieved and reprieved. Maybe you had underperformed for whatever reason, and you were starting fresh, starting even. And that was a good deal. But my message was that you now had the chance to begin again to draw a new and improved high school version of that Etch-a-Sketch. So now I ask you, how does your new picture look? Did you notice that there are some other things attached? A list of school activities, perhaps recommendation letters from teachers and counselors, community activities, perhaps those little colored disciplinary forms that Mr. Turkaz occasionally doles out. Certainly your attendance records. Wish you could erase parts of those pictures? Wish you could quickly add a few more things? Well, welcome to life. Don't we all, at many stages? But I saw you in the classroom. I attended many of the school events in which you performed. With pleasure, I recently observed you and your proud parents at the Academic Awards